Ladies and gentlemen, William Barr knows that Congress can't really do much to compel him to give any part of the Mueller report that he deems to be either grand jury information or information that needs to be kept away from Congress. That is the job of the Attorney General. He's not doing anything wrong. So they can issue a symbolic, so this is 538 right here. Congress has few options left to make Barr cooperate. Even holding him in contempt would be largely symbolic. Then it goes on to say that the Justice Department is in charge of pursuing criminal charges. So he's not going to pursue a criminal investigation into himself for simply doing his job. There's nothing wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. His description of the Mueller probe was not Mueller's exact description. So what? Then Democrats are playing these childish games, and it's not even childish, these insidious games, because they know exactly what they're doing. They spent 2 years. Trump did not collude or work with Russia. He had nothing to do with the hacking of the DNC, which we don't even know if it happened. We're relying on a CrowdStrike assessment. The ODNI and DHS reports should be mandatory reading for every Democrat on the planet, every liberal, every person who believes Russia, hacked the election. The Department of Homeland Security, and the ODNI had to get that out. There were two reports written that state with just high to moderate confidence that Russia hacked the DNC. They do not know because they never obtained the servers. The Democrats hired a third-party tech firm to look at their own servers. It's the equivalent of a defense attorney hiring his brother, who is a forensics expert, to look at a safe that his client, cracked into. As you can see here, Your Honor, we looked at the fingerprints and they're not my clients. Well, how do you know? Did the FBI or did the DA look? No. We looked at the fingerprints and we decided that you have to trust us. The conflict, that's the exact conflict of interest. But anyway, company one in the indictments, company one is CrowdStrike. So when they indict Russian intelligence officers, they're talking about CrowdStrike. But anyway, the issue here is that they can't do anything. So today, all the shenanigans that took place, or taking place, I should say, in Congress, they can hold him in contempt. They can say that he deceived the public, that he lied under oath. They're trying to say he lied under oath. They're trying to say that he lied because Mueller's description of the Mueller team's report was filled with more disdain and contempt for Trump than William Barr's description. That's absurd. The Mueller team decided, A, not to charge the president or Trump Jr. or anyone associated with the president with any crime associated with working alongside Putin to hack the election. There was no collusion, not even the statute, the 18371 statute that I write about in my Federalist article, below in the pinned comment, that Comey, Strzok, and McCabe will be indicted under. These people engaged in a massive cover-up. So check out my segment. It'll probably be after this one in about a couple of hours, on Clinton's email server and the attempts by almost certainly foreign adversaries or foreign countries to hack into the server. Uma Abedin was surprised. Justin Cooper informed her that, and she wrote, OMG. Oh my God. Really? They tried to infiltrate the servers? Well, yeah, they were running on Microsoft Exchange software. But that's what the FBI even noted. That, there were attempts at infiltrating the servers. They were okay with it. Peter Strzok did not care. Look, it is unbelievable how they have placed so much emphasis on Facebook ads, how they've placed so much emphasis on Twitter bots, how they placed so much emphasis on the country learning that Bernard Sanders was cheated. The fact that the Russians told the entire nation that I was cheated is an assault on our democracy. How is that possible, Bernie? Why couldn't you have simply stated, look, they cheated me, and if the Democratic Party doesn't change, they'll never win again. They'll just keep renominating Clinton. And she's running again, so. Why couldn't Bernie Sanders have done what Tulsi Gabbard did? Tulsi Gabbard is an amazing woman. Notice how Tulsi Gabbard never complains about anything, never says, hey, the DNC is locking me out, and why is this happening? And no. Tulsi Gabbard is an amazing, intelligent, beautiful, wonderful, strong, powerful woman. The antithesis of Hillary Clinton, who is a, walking criminal and complains all the time about the fact that she didn't get away with enough criminal activity. And that because of her actions that weren't forgotten, or because people around her didn't cover up all the criminal activity and all the ridiculous decisions that she made, from not even campaigning in Wisconsin, actually deciding to campaign in Arizona like a week before the election. Democrats weren't going to win Arizona in the presidential election. Kristen Sinema barely won, and that was with a recount. All these recounts that lasted weeks on end. Gosh, isn't it funny how most of the time Democrats won? That's bizarre. Kind of reminds you of the 6 or 7 coin flips. They said, there's nothing, Iowa is fine. It wasn't 7 coin flips. Coin flips, Iowa caucus. Fact check. It didn't happen. It was fine. Not an issue. Nothing ever happened. That was wrong. So, no, coin flips did not win Iowa for Hillary. She couldn't even win Iowa. Okay. Let's just see. So apparently, let's see, maybe she actually just won Iowa and it wasn't coin flips, although Debbie Wasserman Schultz was cheated, so at the end of the day, what does it matter? Anyway. So it's been reported that there were as many as 6 sites where ties were decided by coin flip, and Clinton won every single one. The odds of that happening are 1 in 64, less than 2%. What's more, that gave her slightly more than average. That gave her just slightly more than her margin of victory over Sanders' 4 delegates. Things that make you go, this is PBS. Here's the proof. Watch these coins. Okay. Except that doesn't tell the whole story. In fact, there are at least a dozen tiebreakers, and Senator Sanders won at least a handful. What? Okay. Gone unmentioned so far is that even if Clinton won that miracle 6, and there were no other coin tosses, it would make little difference in the outcome. That is in part because of the complicated way Iowa Democrats allocate their delegates, and what was being reported on election night and what wasn't. What? So they have coin flips, and so the PBS article goes and says, yeah, she won a lot of coin flips, but it still didn't matter. Anyway, why am I even focusing on this? Because it's all this bizarre. She's winning coin flips, and then they say it's not a big deal. She shipped a laptop in the mail. I'd love to debate any of the wonderful big pundits out there with 600,000 subs on the left. Do they know what happened to Clinton's laptop? She shipped a laptop in the mail with classified intelligence. Actually put the laptop, one of Bill Clinton's, Bubba Bill's aides, put a laptop in the mail. And it's like, but in case you don't know, I'm still stuck on this. There were at least 6 caucus locations on Monday in which unallocated delegates were assigned by a coin toss. Clinton won all 6. It's so awesome. Here's just how unlikely Hillary Clinton's 6 for 6 coin toss victories would have been. The fix. Washington Post. But she didn't. The Iowa caucus promise is complicated. It never happened. Anyway, look, the bottom line is they can't do anything to William Barr. They can't do anything to William Barr because he didn't do anything criminal. And they're upset that their 2 years of investigation resulted in nothing. They're upset that they don't have any Russia collusion narrative to continue to perpetuate. I mean, what are they going to talk about? Policies? They don't even want legislation to fight climate change. They want a resolution so they don't have to pass any legislation. I mean, their shtick, their facade, their game is, focus on how horrible Trump is and how he represents all these bad things and try to attribute every horrendous thing that takes place to Trump because he's a big, mad, mean person. And all the crazy people, get their cues from Trump, even though, all these horrendous things took place under Obama and Bush and every other president who were presidential. But it's like you have Justin Fairfax, you have Keith Ellison. Nobody talks about, nobody says, oh, we believe the female accusers there. If it's Kavanaugh, oh my God. The left they don't care. Oh, Russians interfered in our election. Well, what did they do? Oh, they let us know that Bernie Sanders was cheated. And I'm sorry I harped on the coin tosses, but it's always like, well, she did win all those counties via coin toss in Iowa, but it was much more complicated than that. It's always something bizarre, and then they explain it as, and then Debbie Wasserman Schultz is forced to resign. So you get the people who are like, there are so many more coin tosses, though, and Bernie won a whole bunch. She didn't win Iowa on coin tosses. That it was so close. Bernie Sanders was going to win Iowa. The guy, at the end of the day, did a cowardly thing. He just simply acquiesced, and he pushed the narrative that Trump, that Russia cheated her. And now they're going with Russia cheated her, and then the Russians are going to infiltrate the election in 2020. It's like they're just foreshadowing another loss. So they're just trying to say, look, if we lose, it's Russia's fault again. But no one's going to buy it. And so what took place is William Barr is now an actual attorney general, not like Jeff Sessions, who recused himself from humanity. And he is letting them know, look, I'm not going to play your game. Furthermore, we're investigating everyone involved in all of this. The Democrats know what's coming. The Democrats know they have nobody but Clinton for 2020. So they're trying to just scorch earth, just pave the way in the most morally relative possible type of politics, where they just say, oh my God, you're doing this and you should be arrested. Like, they're going overboard. They're going overboard because they know what's coming next. Madam Secretary is going to run. And it's going to be Madam Secretary, Madam Cyberhack 2020. And they have to make it seem like the sky is falling every single day from here on out, because they have nothing to stand on. They don't have legislation. There are no legislative victories in the House that are linked directly to a progressive viewpoint or signature democratic policies. Well, President Trump signed prison reform, which is amazing. The First Step Act. That's how horrendous and racist he is. In addition to all the other great things that are taking place in his economy and in his foreign policy. Not everything's perfect, sure. There are speed bumps and road bumps, sure. But Trump's presidency is a good presidency. Like, he's presiding over a lot of achievements. The beginning of peace between North and South Korea. Sure, there's it's not smooth sailing always, but there's détente, there's the beginning of peace. North and South Korea have communicated with each other. Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un have embraced one another. I mean, when did you ever think that was even possible? And that happened by the way, when it did happen, people were saying, or when it didn't happen, people were saying, oh my God, he's going to bring us to the brink of annihilation. He's going to bring us to the brink of annihilation. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then they pivot to, he was lucky as a photo op, and he was lucky. It was a photo op. It really doesn't, it really doesn't mean anything. And there you go. And it's like they never give him credit for anything. They never give him credit for anything. So anyway, I'm sorry, I have to do this. This is Forbes. A coin toss took place yesterday in 6 separate Iowa precincts, including Ames, Des Moines twice, Newton, West Branch, and Davenport. And quite remarkably, Hillary Clinton won all 6. Oh, she won all 6. And this is a Forbes article, The Science of Hillary Clinton's Coin Toss Victories. And they go into like how unlikely it is. I'm sorry. Okay, so. And then and then the rebuttal from people. Well, look, the fact that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign is all you need to know. She was forced to resign. The whole thing, from the beginning of all of this madness, is a farce. It's a complete farce. Okay, I'm like focused on this coin flip thing. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the issue here is getting back to William Barr. He's going after James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. And he is going to find out exactly how all of this took place. We already know how it took place. Clinton purchased the Steele dossier. She outsourced CrowdStrike. The Democrats outsourced CrowdStrike. They didn't tell FISA judges. They deceived FISA judges. Strzok, McCabe, all of them. So you're looking at an overt setup. You're looking at, and then they framed Papadopoulos and framed General Michael Flynn. And what they did to Michael Flynn was criminal, and what they did to Papadopoulos was horrendous and criminal. General Flynn should be pardoned tomorrow. Papadopoulos should be pardoned also. And they have this reverence for an unlawful investigation that they think it's like, you're battling Al Capone and these are the G-men. And no, it's like, no, this was not done in a lawful manner. This was not done in a lawful manner. It wasn't done in a lawful manner at all. The whole thing was a setup. We know that because 2 years of unlimited surveillance, 30 plus people being indicted, and nothing to do with collusion or any kind of, endeavor to conspire. And at the end of the day, you get a report. Trump is a really bad guy. And, oh, by the way, Natalia Veselnitskaya, the Trump Jr. link to Russia, or to the Kremlin, and Joseph Mifsud, Papadopoulos' link to the Kremlin, wasn't interviewed by Mueller. Isn't that interesting? In February, Mifsud was interviewed by the FBI, not Mueller. Mueller started in, May? After Comey was let go. But they didn't, they didn't ask Mifsud to go on record for the Mueller report. Why is that? Because he denied everything when the FBI spoke to him. This is according to the Daily Caller. They spoke to him in February of 2017. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where all of this is culminating into William Barr described the non-event in a manner we don't like. He lied to the country. No, the country already knows. The secret is out. The facade is now seen by everyone for what it is. Now they're going to try to hold him in contempt. The Supreme Court will laugh at them if it gets to the Supreme Court. And the Justice Department won't do anything because they're going to rely on the Justice Department initially. And they're powerless. And they won't be able to impeach Barr because the Senate's Republican. They won't be able to, kick Barr out of office because the Senate's Republican, even if they impeach him in the House. And if they don't have the courage to impeach Trump and they try to impeach Barr, that'll be just amusing for the whole planet. So, anyway, we'll see where this goes. We know where it's going. Comey, Strzok, McCabe, and a whole bunch of people are going to get indicted based on the criminal acts that they've committed. Leaking classified memos, which is what Comey did, is a criminal act. 4 of the 7 were classified, according to Chuck Grassley. That's on his website. And, again, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I harped on the whole coin toss thing is because it's just 85 donors gave $156 million to the Clinton Foundation, and she met with all 85. And then, then liberal pundits say, well, she met with more than just 85 people. What does it matter? It's like, no, you're not understanding. These people gave money, and they met with her. The money had everything to do with it, one would assume. If it was Trump, it would be like, oh my God. They've suspended logic with the Clintons. That's why when she runs again, it'll be the same thing over. They're not going with Biden. Botox Biden. They're not going to do that. Anyway, hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very much. Definitely subscribe to Nick DiPaolo. He is awesome. He's hilarious. He's my new favorite channel now. And he's just a great comedian. He was a comedian alongside Greg Giraldo, who was one of my favorite comedians of all time, who passed away. He was just amazing. And Nick DiPaolo is fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic. He's a great voice politically. A great voice politically. And, I mean, Trump needs to retweet him and share his videos. And anyway, he's awesome. My Patreon is below if you want to support my voice long term. Check out my writing in the Jerusalem Post, the Daily Caller, and the Federalist below. Thank you.